Make sure that if you have a live Christmas tree, we stress it, we can't stress it enough, I should say, that please water the tree daily and keep an eye on it because these are very violent fires. If you ever seen one before, I'm going to attach a video to this to show you just how violent these fires can be. I know, this is the time of year when extension cords are very popular friends and foes to us in the fire service. So, take a look at all the cords that you are using, and please make sure that they're in great shape before using them. And we don't want to end up looking like the Griswolds, where we have all kinds of plugs and whatnot coming out of the walls, where we have issues with that later. We try to stress to go flameless if you possibly can. There's enough of the battery operated candles that look very much like the real thing, and there's a lot of other plug-in type of aromas that you can get from this. And if you do happen to use candles, please make sure that you give the candle enough room around any type of combustibles. We try to preach the 3-foot rule. Try to make sure that the candle itself has 3 foot of airspace before it can reach any type of combustible material, such as drapery or other types of decorations. That they can be very curious toys for some children, and the results can be disastrous, obviously. Give it at least the 3-foot rule, as we talked about before it can reach any type of blankets, any type of furniture, or any draperies, any of your holiday displays as well. So give it a little bit of room to breathe. Okay, Christmas is coming, obviously, or Hanukkah. Make sure that this is a great gift to give to some of your friends and neighbors. Make sure that you have a working fire extinguisher. Know where they're located, and make sure that they're fully charged. Take a look at the gauge. Make sure it's fully charged at all times. Just like smoke detectors, we want to try to have a fire extinguisher on every level of our house. Up in the second floor in the living area, and around the kitchen area, and maybe in the basement around the laundry room and garage areas. We want to try to make sure that we have one on every level. You want to make sure that the gauge is fully charged at all times. Okay. You want to make sure that the hose and the discharge nozzle they're not blocked or have any type of debris on them. And you want to make sure that the pin is in place. Okay. As soon as you lose the pin, sooner or later, the two handles are going to come in contact with each other, and then you may have a large amount of dry powder all over there. So we want to make sure that the pin is in place at all times. For those that may have chimneys and wood burners, you want to make sure that you try to do a good thorough cleaning at least once a year, depending on the amount of times that you burn in it, obviously. But we want to make sure that those are cleaned and properly vented so that you don't have any type of issues with a fire within the flue, and more importantly, you don't have any type of carbon monoxide issues. Make sure that the batteries are operating operating properly. You want to test them on a monthly basis as well. And we want to test the batteries. We want to replace the batteries. Every time we change the clocks is a good time to remember it. So when you change your clocks, you change your batteries and the smoke detectors. If the detector is about 10 years or older, you want to replace them as well. There is a lot of the detectors that are out there have the batteries that do not need to be replaced. It's a 10-year life battery, so that's one less thing you have to worry about, which is pretty cool. So you want to make sure that you have a working smoke detector on every level of your home, and even inside the bedrooms as well. Just as important with the smoke detectors, our carbon monoxide detectors are just as well. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that's created because of unburned fuels and incomplete combustion, and so a lot of times they can be very deadly. And we want to make sure that you are not a victim of this. So make sure that you install a carbon monoxide detector. Just like we talked about with smoke detectors, it's not a bad idea to have one on every level of your home. For the last 5 years, or maybe even more, the number one cause of fires across the United States is unattended cooking. People are so busy nowadays, they put something on the stove, they walk away, they're helping the kids with homework, or they're doing the laundry, changing, whatever else they have to do, and they forget about what's on the stovetop, and it boils over and it causes a disastrous kitchen fire. So even more importantly, during the holidays, that's usually the number one thing we respond to as a fire department is a cooking incidents.